James here, and today we're taking a look at this very cool camera from OBSBOT. This is their most current Tiny 2 PTZ camera. That's right, pan, tilt, and zoom. And inside this box, you're going to be greeted with a couple things. First and foremost, user manual, if you guys need that. You'll then be greeted with this adapter. This adapter is a USB-C to USB-A adapter, and that is because this does use a USB-C to USB-C cabling. It does come in about 5 feet length and is Velcro tied shut. Of course, everything I'm pulling out is coming out of this nice hard shell case with their logo, and it does zip up all the way around, and I can show you that right here, just like that. It has a nice little handle to carry it. Of course, you then get the monitor mount right here, and this monitor mount's really cool because it does do a couple things. First and foremost, you can move it, angle it, and position it however you want with that. You then have the monitor mount. The way it sits on the monitor, it just folds back and will sit over the monitor just like that. It is all rubberized all the way through, so you don't have to worry about it marring up your monitor, and that's kind of cool. You then have the camera, and the camera is really, really awesome looking. I love this little camera, the way it looks. Now, of course, pan, tilt, and zoom, so it does swivel in multiple directions, so you do have that. Now, this is 4K resolution at 30 frames per second. Can be swapped to 1080p at 60 frames per second with that. It does do 4 times zoom, of course. You do have a whole bunch of AI technologies built in. The auto zoom is a very, very fast, very focused, and has all the pixels that you would expect for this. And we'll show you that in a few. It does have HDR. It's got Pix Gain HDR technology. It is a CMOS 1 and 1.5 CMOS. It does do, it is a dual native ISO, which is kind of cool as well. It does have an 85-degree field of view, which is your camera lens, but then it can swivel and adjust and move with you. Now, that's actually kind of cool. Then it does have a whole bunch of built-in technologies like beauty mode, and transfer data and all of that inside there. Now, I'm going to swap over. We're going to show you the software and using this camera. I'll be right back. Okay, now that I have the software open, it's the OBSBOT webcam software, and it does show the label of that Tiny 2 up there, of course, so you do see that right there. If I drop this down a little more, you'll be able to see it a little clearer right there. Now, you will click this picture right here, and it'll pull up this first screen of this, and you guys can see me in action, and that's kind of cool. Now, the software, we can go through the software where we can activate the tracking, and like I said, it is actually very well done and stays with me just amazingly fast. If I stand up, of course, it's going to come with me. If I sit down, it's going to follow me. Now, this is where the software gets cool. I have it set to normal tracking, but you can set it to motion, upper body, close up. If we do close up, you'll see that it pretty much stays about the same no matter where I go or how far back I go. Upper body, if you want to do upper body, you can do the upper body, with that you can do motion, of course, with the motion, and it'll track me as well. You could also do what's called headless mode, where it'll track my body on hand, or lower body if you want. Now it's going to go down, of course, towards my lower torso. With that, pop back up to normal tracking, go into standard mode, and it's going to pop out, and it's now going to see me. Now you also have what's called desktop mode. Now desktop mode, if I click that, is going to go down to my desktop, and you'll see my desktop, and of course, my hand right there. Now you'll see the little paperwork and my keyboard. It's a little dirty, of course, and I do need to clean that. We can do what's called hand mode. When we pop over, it's going to move with my hand. Now, I can actually change hand mode to left or right hand. So if I change the hand, it's now going to only work with that hand and not this hand. I guess it still kind of works with it because we're moving our hands around. But cool. We do have to set that settings right here and pick out what we want if we want to go into the gimbal. We're going to pop off. We're going to go to normal tracking, back to me, of course. We can actually add presets and settings up here. Now, the cool part about this is you do have image settings where you can change your, focus. HDR is coming soon, of course. Your auto-focusing, your auto-corrections, your exposures, your auto-exposures, anti-flickers, all the way up to 60 hertz. If you really want to do that, you can do that. White balance, contrast, saturation, hues, and all of that in between. You then have beautify mode, where you can actually change the beautifications. I can blur out the background as much as I want. If I really want to blur it out, I can completely blur out that background right there. Very cool. Then you can change over to native colorations, classics, or even for men with that. We can change the style of your bodies. You can even change some other filters like the fresh nature. You guys see the colorations change out in the background. A film, sheer, pure, black and white, or soda can with that, or just none altogether. I love that it does that and offers that option. You do have some more settings, of course. You do have the sleep settings where it'll actually say be back soon, or it walked away from the screen. You can make your own. You can do sleep background flip. You can do the locked target, zooming in, and all that. Now these are gesture controls, so if I do this, it's going to lock into place. If I do like this, it should start zooming in just like that. And of course now it's zoomed in. If I do this, it'll zoom back out for us. If I want to do dynamic zoom, I can just do this and it'll do a dynamic zoom and so on. Now we can do directional flip if we need to do directional flip. This is where it gets cool. It does have voice controls. So if I wait 3 seconds, because I'm talking, zoom in closer. Zoom out further. Track me. Of course, it's already tracking me. I can say lock, and it will lock on place. That's really cool to have that. Now, you do also have audio settings and stuff in here if you want to do that. Image flip, I can flip my image completely around. You have your firmware updates, gimbals, and all of that in between. Now, they still offer a remote control. That is an extra piece, though. But they do have a remote control that works with this, and you'll have to go up here, and you'll have to activate that little button to reactivate the remote. And if I want, I can just manually zoom in or out, or adjust the gimbal if I want to do manual mode, go up to the sky, back down, and all of that in between. They also offer a very cool little plug-and-play USB-C to USB-A with power switch, so you can manually power it off if you want. Now, those are extra pieces, but a very well done camera. Now, everything you heard is actually coming from this microphone off this camera, and I gotta say, it quite surprises me the way it works. Now, the OBSBOT Tiny 2 is just amazing to me. Of course, 4K, 30 frames per second. I hope you enjoyed this little video. I'll see you on the next.